Hi everyone and welcome to another Micro Monday. So for those of you that are new to our Twitter feed and to our learning sessions, my name is Phoebe. I am a University of Wolverhampton graduate and a member of the STEM response team. I have a bachelor's degree in microbiology and I do the Micro Monday sessions, including this one today. So today we're going to be taking a look at Baffling Biotechnology. So we're going to learn what it is, how it came about, and some really awesome examples of both sort of older biotechnologies that we still use today, all the way to modern biotechnological techniques that are currently undergoing research at the University of Wolverhampton itself. So, first question, what is biotechnology? So biotechnology can be defined as the use of a technology that involves living organisms. So this can include any, but mainly today we are going to be looking at microorganisms that are involved in this type of technology. So this type of technology can have a use in all different parts of our lives, including agriculture, food sciences, and even medicine. So three modern day examples of biotechnology, and these examples have actually been around for a long time, include fermentation, which uses yeast that ferments sugars into different products such as ethanol, which is used to make alcohol in beer and wine. This is usually done by a type of yeast called Saccharomyces, also known as baker's yeast or beer yeast. Other biotechnologies include enzymes, which are extracted from living organisms and can be used in anything from your sort of biological washing powders like Fairy, Ariel, whatever, all those things. And the DNA polymerase chain reaction, which is new, it's a type of technology which is used to amplify DNA for analysis in a lab. So those enzymes have a variety of uses both every day and in laboratories. Finally, medicine is another really good example of biotechnological advances recently. So, for example, penicillin, we all know what that is. Some of us are allergic to it, including me. But it's essentially the grandfather of antibiotic medicine. So penicillin was discovered by a scientist called Alexander Fleming in 1928, and he discovered it when apparently, we're not entirely sure if this is exactly how it happened, because at the time scientists were known to be more extravagant and to sort of extrapolate and exaggerate. So he claims that some penicillin mould flew in through the window and landed on one of his petri dishes which he was observing bacteria upon. And when he later came to look at these plates, to be honest, the plates shouldn't really have been open, but when he came back to look at his plates, he saw that there was what they now call an exclusion zone around where the penicillin fungus had started to grow. So there was sort of the penicillin fungus in the middle and a ring around it, which is where the bacteria could have grown. That's because those bacteria had been killed. And in that, from the Penicillium notatum fungus came the medication penicillin, which we all know and love today. So biotechnology actually dates back thousands of years. So sort of in the UK, when we were just humble farmers making bread using yeast, all the way through to ancient Egyptians that used yeast to brew their own beers and bake their own bread even, and all the way back 7,000 years ago, the Mesopotamia people used bacteria to convert their wine into vinegar for cooking or for some thought even antimicrobial uses. I'm not sure why you'd want to convert wine into vinegar, but those are just some examples of how biotechnology is by no means a new technology. Obviously we still use it and we're still researching within the field of biotechnology, but this technology has actually been around for an awfully long time. So we've talked about biotechnology, what it is, where it came from, and sort of the older uses of biotechnology. Now we're going to take a look at some modern research. So bioplastics is one that is currently very topical because, as you've probably seen, plastics are ruining our oceans. Obviously fossil fuels, which is how we actually make a lot of our plastics, petroleum-based plastics. Obviously fossil fuels are becoming more and more scarce. They also cause global warming when burnt, yada yada yada. Everybody knows this. You know, David Attenborough did that whole big documentary about plastics ruining the oceans. Straws are banned. You know, everybody knows that plastic is bad. However, when plastic was initially invented, it wasn't intended to be used as something that was necessarily disposable. So this is kind of what it's become, and therefore, rather than scrapping plastic altogether, which would be nice, as a society, we need to actually look at, okay, how can we make plastic better for the environment rather than just scrapping it? The bioplastics are currently being researched in a lot of places, and one of those places is the University of Wolverhampton. So a friend of mine, Brian Johnston, who recently got his PhD in the topic, has done a lot of research into bioplastics, including the one that we're going to discuss now. So PHAs, which are a type of biocompatible, non-toxic, recyclable bioplastics, are made by a bacteria called Cupriavidus necessiter. I think that's how it's pronounced. And in his methods, he uses polyethylene plastics, or PE plastics, which is sort of the plastics that we know today and that are damaging for the environment. And he uses these plastics as a source of carbon for these bacteria to use to make the new PHA plastics, which are a more easily recyclable and therefore eco-friendly alternative to the PE plastics. If you want to look at this deeper, I've included some resources at the bottom of this slide, so you can have a look online. Also, if you just type in bioplastics into Google, you can also do a lot more of your own research there too. Another modern use of biotechnology, which is currently being researched at the University of Wolverhampton, is something called Bacterial Cellulose. So a bacteria called Bacterial Cellulose can be used to make a powerful material called Bacterial Cellulose. So this is a fully biodegradable material which is made from compounds that are very similar to plant matter. These can be used to make really useful products such as clothes, to stuff used in the food industry. So a currently researched use for this biomaterial is as an antimicrobial burn dressing. So bacterial cellulose can be sort of loaded with molecules, including something called silver nitrate, which has been proven to have antimicrobial effects. So by loading up this bacterial cellulose hydrogel, which is where you sort of soak it in water and keep it nice and moist, by loading that with silver nitrate, this not only makes a really good damp cooling burn dressing that is biodegradable and environmentally friendly, but additionally by loading it with this silver nitrate, it could potentially be used to prevent dangerous bacterial infections from penetrating to the damaged skin, which actually the infections that come from burns are actually more potentially dangerous than the burn itself. So that's another really awesome, modernly researched use of biotechnology. Again, I've included sources there, but obviously you can go and do your own research as well on the topic. So those are just a few really awesome examples of biotechnology, how it came about, you know, why it's important, older methods, newer methods of using living organisms to benefit us. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to keep an eye on our Twitter and our other social media channels for more Micro Mondays, Wild Wednesdays and Forensic Fridays. Also make sure to check out our website. So if you go on the University of Wolverhampton website, type in STEM Response Team into the search bar, our little part of that website will come up. That's got loads of free science learning resources, including all the videos we've done so far, worksheets, craft projects, and our citizen science project, which you can still get involved in. Please get involved in it. So please go and check that out as well. So that's it for now. I'll see you guys next week for another Micro Monday remote learning session. See ya!